everyone, Maya here from My Storybook, and this week's featured read aloud is Ruby Finds a Worry, written and illustrated by Tom Percival. So that name might sound familiar to you because if you remember the story Perfectly Norman that we've read together before, then this is the same author and illustrator who wrote that book. So he has written a second book about a new little one, Ruby, and it seems like Ruby finds a worry. Well, I can't wait to dive into this reading adventure with you, and we'll be talking about this week all about feelings and how you can express your feelings and share them so that you can feel better on the inside, especially when you have some not so great feelings going on in there. We are going to be learning about some strategies and some things that you can do if you're not feeling so well on the inside and how you can make yourself feel better. So first of all, for all of our new friends who are joining us on these reading adventures, welcome to My Storybook and Interactive Read Alouds. What an interactive read aloud means is that I'm going to be asking questions throughout the story to engage you in conversation and get you thinking about the story, as well as I'll be sharing some vocabulary words and some main themes and ideas. So we'll just really get to talk about what's going on and what the story is all about, and I'll get to hear some of what you have to say and get to see what you experience after reading the book. Plus, at the end, there's always a fun craft that you can do that goes along with the story. I love going on reading adventures with all of you, so I'm very glad you can join, and always make sure that you subscribe so that you can keep up with all of our new reading adventures that will be coming out soon. Alright, well, I'm about ready to get started. Now, this week's story, as I mentioned, also has to do with feelings. But again, about how to deal with feelings that you feel on the inside and how to make them feel better. So, are you ready to get started? Let's begin. The title of this week's featured read aloud is Ruby Finds a Worry, written and illustrated by Tom Percival. So remember, if there's only one name on the titles, that means that that person wrote all the words and drew all of the pictures that we're about to see. And if you remember from Perfectly Norman, he's got some pretty cute characters, great pictures, and also a great story in store for us. Now, if I take a look at the cover here, there's not many things going on the cover, huh? See this bright green background, some yellow words with the title, Ruby Finds a Worry, and I wonder what that means. She finds a worry. My friends, do you ever worry about something? I know almost everyone has some things that they worry about. What are some things that you worry about? Yes, those sound like some very worrisome things. If you don't really know what worry means when you're always thinking about something that makes you feel not so good. Sometimes you think about it a lot and it's something maybe you're kind of not feeling so happy about, something that you don't really want to do maybe in the future, or something that you're not sure of what's going to happen. And I know sometimes when I'm worried about something, my head might start to hurt because I'm thinking about it so much, or my stomach will feel kind of bad, like wibbly and wobbly and like butterflies, because I'll also be thinking about it and just not wanting to do what's on my mind that I'm worried about. So being worried about something can make you feel kind of not so great. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever felt worried and then your body doesn't feel so great either? Yeah, what was it like? How did you feel in your body? Yeah, so worrying can do that to you. Well, don't worry, we're going to read this story and we're going to find out some ways to maybe get rid of a worry. But going back to the cover, again, there's not much going on. What do you see on the cover? It's only like two things. That's right, I see a little girl, and I'm guessing that must be Ruby. And what is this little thing over here? I don't know, I've never seen one of those before. I'm wondering if the title says Ruby finds a worry, if maybe that's the worry? And how does she feel about that worry? Yeah, she kind of looks like she's not so sure about what it is. Looks kind of like, And what do you think she might be thinking about? Because it kind of looks like she's thinking. Kind of like, well, here's this worry. Now what? Alright, my friends, well, before we get started, when you're worried about something, what do you do about it? Those are some good ideas. Well, let's see what Ruby does. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so here's our title page. Again, our title page has our title of the book, Ruby Finds a Worry. Who wrote and illustrated it? Again, Tom Percival. And it has this little picture going on here. And who do you see in the picture? Yeah, I see Ruby from the cover, this little Ruby, and what's going on? Yeah, it kind of looks like they're at the beach. She's with her family. They're having a pretty good day, right? Does she look worried to you? Nope, looks pretty happy. Ruby loved being Ruby. And look how cheerful she is, my friends. She's just so happy with herself. Don't you love being yourself? I love being Maya. It's a pretty good feeling to have. Hope you feel that way too. She loved to swing up high. Does she look worried at all in this part of the story? She looks super cheerful, huh? Do you like swinging up high like that? Super fun, huh? And she loved to explore wild, faraway places. Looks like she's adventuring in her backyard. My friends, do you like to explore too? And does she look worried yet? And does she look worried yet? Nope, not yet, not here. Sometimes she even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Sounds like she has a big garden, big backyard. Ruby was perfectly happy. Until one day, ... So those ... dots tell me the story is going to continue on the next page, but until one day, that also tells me something in the story is about to change. So she says she's perfectly happy here until one day something's going to change. What do you think, my friends? What's going to happen? She's still going to be so happy? Well, let's see. So until one day, she discovered a worry. A worry. So my friends, that's like the worry that was on the front of the cover, huh? So one day she discovers a worry, and it wasn't a very big worry. And look at, how does she feel? Kind of like surprised to see it, right? She's not so sure. In fact, it was so small that at first, Ruby hardly noticed it. So she's just going about her day, it's just sitting there. But then the worry started to grow. And each day it got a little bigger. So each day this worry is getting bigger and bigger, and it looks like Ruby's starting to notice it now. My friends, has this ever happened to you where you had a little worry, but then you started worrying about it more and more? Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. How does she feel about this worry being with her everywhere she goes? Not too happy about it, huh? It just wouldn't leave her alone. It was there at breakfast staring at her over the cereal box. And it was still there at night when she brushed her teeth. So it's there all the way from the morning till all the way till the end of the day. Seems like this worry is just not going away. But the funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry, not even her teacher. So she has this worry with her, but no one else can even notice because they can't see it. Like, my friends, when you're worried about something, is everyone else worried about that same thing? Usually not, right? It's usually something only you're worried about and you know about. Well, since no one else could see it, Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. So it seems like she's just going to ignore the worry and hope it goes away. You think that'll work? Will it go away? She tried to carry on as if everything was normal, but it just wasn't. Remember how happy Ruby used to be at the beginning? She looked like that anymore. The worry was always there, stopping her from doing the things that she loved. Remember how she used to swing so high? She's swinging anymore? No, because why not? Looks like that worry is taking up all the room, huh? On the swing, but also probably in her head she just keeps thinking about it and can't really think about doing the things she really likes to do. Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? What if it stayed with her forever? Oh, goodness. Ruby didn't realize it, but she was doing the worst thing that you could do with a worry. She was worrying about it. And my friends, look at the size of this worry. Is it getting any smaller? No, huh? It's just getting bigger and bigger. It seems like the more she worries about it, the bigger it gets. Now, the worry was enormous. So enormous is another word for big and huge, and oh, my friends, look how big it is now. Remember how small it started out as? Can you show them with your fingers how small it was? It was like this small, right? Show me. And now how big is it? Enormous, right? Can you say enormous? Enormous. It is such a big worry. Poor Ruby. It could barely fit in the kitchen at dinner time, and it filled up half the school bus. So it's with her at dinner, it's even with her on the way to school, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. My friends, what do you think Ruby should do? Let's see what she does. And it took up whole rows at the movie theater. This worry just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about, and it seemed like she would never feel happy again. So this worry's just not going away, and since she's so worried, it's pushing out all her other feelings, like she can't even feel happy anymore. Then, one day, something unexpected happened. And my friends, if I take a look at this picture, what do you see? What do you notice? There's another little boy here, and what's next to him? Kind of looks like another worry, except his is a different color because that's his worry, right? Not her worry. People have their own worries, it seems like. So, one day something unexpected happened, so it sounds like there's going to be another change in the story. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park, and he looked how she felt. Sad. And then she noticed something else, something hovering next to him. Could it be a worry? So she recognizes that, hey, he kind of looks like how I feel. So since I have this big worry, could it be that he has a worry too? What do you think they're going to do? They both have worries. What do you think will happen next? Great prediction. Well, let's see. So she wondered, could it be a worry? And it was. Ruby realized that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. So my friends, everyone has worries, right? If you have a worry, you're not the only one worried about something. It's something that a lot of people feel. And look, are their worries all the same? No. They all have different worries, different shapes, different things that they're worried about. But if I look at their faces, it kind of looks like they all feel the same, huh? They all feel that same not so happy feeling, that worried feeling. So other people had them too. She asked the boy what was on his mind, and as he told her, the strangest thing started to happen. His worry started to shrink. Wait. So worries don't just get bigger and bigger. His worries started to get smaller. Can you show me that? Shrinking. Shrinking means to get smaller. So start really big and shrink. Wait, so what's going on that's making his worry shrink? Seems like he's talking to Ruby about his worry. What's on his mind? Then Ruby did the best thing you could ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it. And as the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there at all. So shrink again, getting smaller and smaller and smaller, shrinking. Soon, both of their worries were gone. So my friends, how did they help each other get rid of their worries? They talked about them. They shared what was on their mind and what they're thinking. They didn't try to hide it, right? They talked about them. They shared what was on their mind and what they were thinking. Instead of trying to hide their feelings and hide what they were worried about, they shared it. And they started to shrink until they were gone. And my friends, look at their faces. How do they feel now? So much happier. Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. How are they feeling? Very cheerful, huh? Of course, that wasn't the last time she ever had a worry. Everyone gets them from time to time, right? You worry about one thing, but then it goes away, but new worries always come up. But now that she knew how to get rid of them, so look, she sees this new little worry, but did she look as surprised and as confused and concerned as last time? No, she's looking at it and she's like, Now that she knows how to get rid of them, they never hung around for long. So here's this little worry, and notice it's not getting bigger and bigger. This one's staying small. She knows how to get rid of it now, huh? And what does she have to do to get rid of it? Talk about it. Share with someone else what she's thinking, what she's worried about. And the more she talked about it, the better she felt about it. The end. All right, my friends. Well, that was Ruby Finds a Worry, and I hope you enjoyed it. What was your favorite part about the book? Yeah. I liked it when she started talking about her worry, and then all of a sudden it started to shrink, right? Smaller and smaller and smaller. And then she felt so much happier in the end because she was herself again. She didn't have to worry about it so much. Well, my friends, I hope that reading this story has helped give you some ideas of what you can do if you ever feel worried. Because, just like the story says, worries are going to happen. We're going to have things that we're worried about because we have feelings. And one of those feelings is being concerned about certain things. But instead of trying to hide it, what really helps us is if we share it. Because when you share it with someone, they can help you work through your feelings and help you feel better. And you might realize that once you talk about it, it's not such a big deal after all that you have to worry about it. So, my friends, if you're worried about something right now, let's give it a try and talk about it. All right? What are you worried about today? What's on your mind? Well, thanks for sharing, but I want you to know that you're a very strong person and a special person. I'm sure that things will work out, and I'm sure you have lots of family and friends around you who will help you and support you through it. But thank you for sharing that worry with me. One thing that I worry about is teaching my kids, and I'm worried that I might mess up a lesson and that they won't learn anything by the end of the year. But what I do to help me is I go talk to my teacher friends about it, and they give me ideas of what I can do if I'm worried about something, or they give me some strategies to help the lesson go even better. So, talking about it really does help, and I hope that you remember that next time you feel worried. In fact, that leads me on to this week's featured craft because it's connected to our story and is a great way to help remind you of what you can do if you are ever worried. Are you ready? Let's check it out. So this week's featured craft is how to get rid of a worry, or when I'm worried, I can. And it's all about reminding us of some steps that we can take if we're ever worried. So if you see these are little worries that kind of look like the worries in the book, right? Like the one Ruby had. And there's a black and white version that you can color in yourself. And as always, there's also a colored version that you can just print out and go. And these ones are fun because they're like the pop-up crafts. So here's our worry, and it says how to get rid of a worry. And if you open it up, inside, and this kind of looks like the rainbow that was in the illustration when Ruby got rid of her worry and she found out how to get rid of it. There was a rainbow of happiness. So the little rainbow colors on the border to show us how to get rid of our worry. And one step is talk about it. And so it says, I can talk to these people. So think about some people that you could talk to about your worry. Step 2 might be to write about it. The whole idea is to share about your worry. So share it out and don't just hold it inside. So maybe if you don't want to talk to someone, you can journal and write it down here. You can also draw it if you like to draw and it helps you process and think in pictures. You can draw about what you're worried about. And then you just repeat steps 1 through 3 until your worry is gone. So just keep talking about it, keep writing about it, drawing about it, keep sharing it. Don't just hold those feelings inside, my friends. Share them with someone else to really help you feel better on the inside too, okay? So this is a great craft to remind you if you ever are worried about something. And if you're worried about something right now, go through these steps. Write down who you can talk to and go talk to them. Write down what you're worried about. Draw a picture of it and then just do it again and again until you feel happy and feel like yourself again. On the colored version, there's different versions too where if you have your own steps, you can fill in your own steps and do your own things until your worry is gone. Okay, so as always, my friends, if you want to check out that craft, you can find the templates and all the directions and picture instructions on my blog, MaiStoryBook, by clicking on those links below. There you'll also find additional reading resources and other craft ideas. And my friends, if you do make this craft or want to follow our other reading adventures or want to ask me a question or anything, please reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram, on the blog, on YouTube, on Facebook, all those social media links you can find down below. Please be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with all of our reading adventures and crafts. I can't wait to continue sharing these stories with all of you and getting to learn some really helpful things from these books. Alright, well again, our takeaway is if you're ever feeling not so great or worried about something, my friends, find a way to share it, talk about it, write about it, draw about it, any way that makes you feel most comfortable. But the goal is for you to feel happy and to feel like yourself again. Alright, that is my wish for you, that you are happy and just proud of who you are. Okay, well this reading adventure has come to an end and I can't wait to join you for a new one. But until then, my friends, happy reading!